This video is going to be about that ridiculous concept that somehow the ancient Mesoamerican civilization was visited by Aryan gods. Okay, what's my problem with this? Well, this is the sign of a dying culture. And what irks me is many people are okay with making fun of people that, when the African Americans believed they were descendants of the ancient Egyptians, and I even did a series of videos called We Was Spaniards about how ridiculous it is that mestizos and castizos and such believe themselves to be Spanish when they're actually a conglomerate of many different groups. Now, it's okay to make fun of them, but not okay for white people to recognize the stupidity of this belief that somehow in the ancient past, back many moons ago, the white man was the god of all the other civilizations. This is basically theozoology. Theozoology was a concept that was embraced by some in the Third Reich. It's also why Germany did not actually practice eugenics. Now, I'm a eugenist. The Germans in World War II were not eugenists because their ideas were based in nonsense. If they had succeeded with their goal, you would have seen the same genetic issues in the German populace that you see now in the populations of Israel, and with the Ashkenazi population, and in the populations of the Amish in the United States. Too close of breeding of the lines leads to mental and physical retardation. This is true. Racial purity is not a good thing. I've stated this a number of times. People get mad when I say this because they think, oh, well, he used to be a white supremacist, he must be now. No. The fact of the matter is this concept of grasping at straws with no physical evidence is the sign of a dying culture. I brought this up with the Cherokee and their Booger dance, where they try to make fun of the conquering Anglo-American people because they can't psychologically deal with the fact that they are subordinated to the white Anglo-Saxon American. Okay, well now we see the white man, the white people, dying. Their culture is dying, their attitude is dying, and you can see this by their adherence to these concepts that are just stupid. There's no proof that the Mesoamericans were visited by white gods. Yes, this is true that maybe at some point there were accounts in the Mesoamerican populations that Quetzalcoatl was a white man and all this other nonsense. I don't buy that. Also with the Chechapoya are the only light, fair-skinned, and fair-haired and fair-eyed civilization to live to the point of the conquistadors coming to the New World. Well, what's my problem with this? The conquistadors were notorious storytellers. They said things like in Cuba, Christopher Columbus said that certain people were born with tails. The Amerindians, a group of Amerindians was born with tails, which is absurd. Okay, so my point is this. You can't use the conquistadors' accounts as accurate. Do I believe the Chechapoya were fair-skinned, fair-haired, and fair-eyed? Yes, probably. That does not mean that they were Caucasoid. Okay, we know this because of the Ainu. The Ainu are the indigenous inhabitants of Okinawa, and we know that they are not they're not Caucasoid. They're probably Australoid, but we don't even know that for sure. There's a lot of genetic mixing going on. We do know that in South America, in the South American indigenous populations, we do know that there is Australoid DNA. My point is that we should seek to have our mindsets as close to accurate as possible. And I will be making a video about the IQ question. Everybody, oh, what about the blessed IQ, the magical IQ? What if the IQ drops? We think so highly of the IQ. I've made other videos about this. A lot of the IQ data, I believe, is bogus. But also, what people have to understand, the IQ data is a generality. It's not based on individuals. If we were to truly embrace post racial eugenics. It would not be a generality. It would be based on individuals. Okay? That's a big difference, and I'll get into that in a later video. And that's all for this video. I will leave plenty of links in the descriptions backing up my concepts that I'm expressing here. If people follow the links, they'll see I'm not completely moronic, and that theozoology is completely moronic, and these concepts of we was gods is stupid.